Here we go. Let's kick those boosters on. There we go. Okay, this thing does backflip. Oh! This has a custom interior, so you need to hop up, find the seat block. It's right there. Gonna get it. Right there. Come on. You got this. You know what? We're using the lift. Here we go. One more try. See if we've skinnied it up just a little bit. There we go. Yep, it's gonna it's just gonna pop it around. We have a awesome stereo system back here. Hello YouTube, Camodo Gaming here, bringing you guys another episode of Scrap Mechanic, and today we are back with some more Hot Wheels builds. You guys seem to like the first episode of this where we built the big mega ramp in the background and we had the Twin Mills Hot Wheel, and I asked you guys, what types of Hot Wheels do you want to see? And you guys were pretty overwhelming with your suggestions. The two big ones were Bone Crusher and Off Duty, so I've got those two Hot Wheels here today, so we're going to check those out. I've got a couple other things with this little Hot Wheels world that I do want to do, and we might try a couple of things out this episode. But anyways, folks, remember if you're enjoying Scrap Mechanic, leave this video a thumbs up, helps out my channel. If you want to download any of these creations, they will be on my workshop, that will also be in my description. But anyways, let's jump right into these creations. Okay, so we're here in the Hot Wheels world. There's the two Twin Mill vehicles from the last episode. There's Sweet Tooth. He's really not a Hot Wheel. He was from my last Scrap Mechanic episode. Came out a couple days ago. That was actually a really fun build if you'd like to check that out. That's in the description. Let's go ahead and get rid of him. And what I built here today, of course I've already mentioned, we have Bone Crusher and Off Duty. Off Duty I've never heard of before at all. But Bone Crusher's actually a Hot Wheels that I've seen. I think it's kind of like the Twin Mill. They've had several different versions of it. It's pretty much just a hot rod, and its distinct characteristic is it's got this skull face on the front of it where its grill is. Now, I've seen a couple that don't really look like they have the skull, even though it's called Bone Crusher, and obviously skulls, bones, it kind of makes sense. But I went with probably one of the most common ones that came up. Now, the only thing that I'm missing, and it's a paint job thing that we can't do in Scrap Mechanic, is the flames. A lot of these are just black and they'll have flames up the side, and yeah, we don't have that in Scrap Mechanic. It would be cool to have some sort of like decal tool, but that's just something that we're not doing right now. So I had to go with the black paint job with the red stripes, but I do think it came out pretty good. Let's go ahead and grab this one, move it over, and show you guys the details. Now, I'm using pretty much the same mods I used last time, except for one new one, and it is the Durf Chrome mod. I looked on the, or at least the in real life versions of this car, and the front ends are just chromed out with the little skull here. Now, as far as the skull, we are dealing with Scrap Mechanic, we are dealing with limited parts, but I do think it came out pretty good. It's kind of like the Sweet Tooth head from last episode. You kind of do what you can with the parts that are provided. So you've got the skull up here in the front, it's all chromed out. You've got the motor that pokes out the side. Let's go and take this off the lift. The pipes actually curve. By the way, the pipe mod is made by Grind. I mispronounced his name last episode, but that's his mod here, and you've got that. So you've got the exhaust coming out. You've got everything coming out the top here. I think detail-wise, this one came out actually really nice. The body looks pretty spot on. The only thing that's pretty typical with this vehicle, from I noticed from the in real life version and the Hot Wheels version, is that it sets pretty low to the ground. And as you can see, mine sets up fair bit higher, and that's just because of the mega ramp and the terrain here in Scrap Mechanic. Now, as far as the nitty-gritty details, it has a pretty decent little spider web. It's got a couple cool features to it. I believe this thing here in the back is the gas tank, I'm guessing. At least on the car, there's always this big canister in the back. You can see some logic. We're running the Lord Payne interior mod. It's a pretty fantastic interior mod with the pieces. And overall, I think the color of the interior complements the body. So yeah, you've got that. Let's go ahead and hop into this one. We're going to check out Off Duty here in a second. I want to take this one for a little bit of a joyride. Now, the 1 key is the side door. The 2 key is your back thrusters. Everybody, or at least when I think of Hot Wheels, I think of like really fast vehicles. So I always give these vehicles some sort of back thruster. Now, this one's got some features, I would say, similar to the Twin Mill. The 3 key is front thrusters. The 4 key is back thrusters, so when you're in air, if you want to like do like a backflip or something, you can hold down the 3 key, and it should flip over. Now, I did try out something new with the pistons on this vehicle here in particular. I wanted to see if we can make this vehicle hop, and so I've got the 5 key. It's set to a button, and the 5 key actually throws pistons up out of the bottom of the car, so you can see them. Now, you're noticing that it's tilting it backwards, and that's actually on purpose. When this thing has forward momentum, when you hit that 5 key, it tries to actually throw it forward. I found if they were actually even, it would really launch it odd. Now, it's a work in progress. It's not a perfect tool that we have here, but it does semi-work. We're gonna say semi. I don't want to say this thing's perfect, but here we go. We're gonna hit the 5 key. Let's get all 4 down. Actually, let's see if we can actually hop over something. Maybe that rock up there. We'll give this thing a little test. Here we go. Hop it. There we go. It works. I would like a little faster piston. I need to check and see if I think Durf's got one now. Might have to reinstall some pistons on this thing. Right now it's just running the vanilla piston, and it just doesn't seem fast enough. If I can get a little bit more speed, we can keep that momentum going and actually hop over some things. So, there we go. Flipped over. Hey, it gives you a pretty good view of the pistons and where the thrusters are. Let me go and hit the pistons. You can see they're loaded in the back and the front there. But yeah, that's actually something that you guys had suggested I do with a couple of the vehicles, and I figured that actually does work. So let's go hit this thing on the mega ramp real quick and see how it handles it. Okay, here we go, mega ramp time. Let's just see how this thing handles it here. I'm hoping it handles it pretty good. You know what, it gets down the ramp. Whoa, you know what, that actually gets down the ramp fairly decent. That does a better job than the twin mill did. I would say that one's actually a little less bouncy when it comes to the ramp. You know what? I actually want to give that one more go there. I kind of curved off to the right there at the last moment. But I do feel like this might be a better vehicle in terms of handling going down the ramp than the twin mill was. So I might have to take a couple things from this and convert it over to the twin mill. But let's give that one more go here. Okay, so attempt number 2 down the mega ramp here. I feel like this vehicle is doing a better job than the twin mill was. We're going to try to carry a little bit more speed this time just to see what happens. So let's ease down the first part of the ramp. Here we go. Let's kick those boosters on. There we go. Okay, this thing does backflip. Oh! Hey, we basically landed. I mean, I really need to make a landing zone for that. I do notice this thing probably needs a bit more front weight, because it did seem like it, even before I even helped with the thrusters, it did tip back. So it does feel like maybe I put too many heavier blocks in the back. So we might adjust that a little bit, but this one I would have to say is definitely a lot better than the twin mill is at jumping. So that's the Bone Crusher. I do like this one a whole lot. This is probably one of my favorites. I don't know, the off-duty that we're about to go check out is pretty epic. But definitely, I like the way it looks. It handles good, and I feel like it works pretty good with the Mega Ramp. Might need a couple little adjustments, but feel free to do that if you guys want to make any little adjustments to it. Go right ahead. It will be available in my workshop, and let's go check out Off Duty. Alright, so here is Off Duty, and I must admit I have never heard of this Hot Wheel before. To me, it's just like a big, bulky truck. There were several versions of this. I saw one that was like blue and orange. I saw the blue and neon green, the one I did here. And I saw a couple more. There's like a red one too. I don't know really what the special feature is on this one. The other ones, they all have a pretty distinct either body style or something happens. To me, this is just a big truck. So I went ahead and took some liberties and did a couple things and changed some things up. So it might not be 100% true to form to the Hot Wheel, but to me, this is actually a pretty awesome truck. We've got some neat features here. So obviously, body style, this thing is huge. It's just a big, bulky truck. I'm using the chrome mod for the big front bumper and brush guard. You've got the grille. The lights in the front all have a pretty distinct look as far as the grille mesh, the way the lights are. Even the front hood kind of has these scoops that come up it. You've got the overhead lights up there. Pretty big wheels. We might need to add a little bit more back suspension. Looks like it's drooping a little bit. Let's go 13 on each side on the back one. There we go. That's a little bit better. Suspension-wise, we're not running off anything too fancy. I did put 2 suspension pieces on there. It's really just for looks. It probably could have functioned off of one. You got those there. You can see the chrome exhaust mod under here. You're seeing some extra thrusters, of course, for speed. We've got some underglow here with lights. You can see everything runs up to the front here. And it's actually got a pretty detailed motor. Let's go ahead and hop out the back. It's also got something really cool in the back. We're going to hit those buttons here in a second. Now, look at the spider web on this one. It is pretty intense. Hiding something in the back trunk. By the way, there's a big cover on top of it, so you can't see in it. There's just a lot of buttons, a lot of things going on, so let's go and open this up here. You need like a step stool. The guy is way too short to get up in this. It's like, actually no, he hops pretty high. So, this has a custom interior, so you need to hop up, find the seat block. It's right there. Gonna get it, right there. Come on. You got this. You got this. You know what? We're using the lift. We're using the lift. All right, here we go. So, let's walk in. Now, the one thing about the Hot Wheels, I noticed a lot of their windows were really tinted, so it is a bit hard to see out of the front of this thing, but if you do want to use the interior, say you like using that view, just paint this clear. You can repaint the window. But yeah, it's got a detailed interior. Like I said, a lot of this is Lord Payne's interior mod, using some Durf parts in here too. But yeah, this thing looks fantastic. You got the gauges. It's a custom wheel. It's hooked up to a bearing and just hooked directly into the seat. Some of these switches are for the features. You got a little radio here. You got a dash, some horns. The back seat also has seat blocks in it too, so you and your friends can go riding around in this. He looks pretty natural actually setting in here. The only bad thing about the seat block, I noticed the camera is really low on it. So he looks like he's looking directly out the window, but when you really get down to it, he's just like he's sunk down in the seat. So it's a little strange. Go and show you the wheel turning. There we go. So anyways, let's go ahead and show you guys the features. This one's got a lot more buttons than the Bone Crusher did. This thing is probably not going to go down the Mega Ramp. Just a word of warning, I don't think it's going to get air. It is a heavier vehicle, bulkier, and I feel like it might tip over trying to go down it. Doesn't mean that we might not try it, but I don't know. So yeah, the one key is the door. The other doors are hooked up to their respective seats. The two key, that's the hood. You can see down there we do have some engine detail. You can see where the suspension is hung down there. I really wish we had a free cam here in Scrap Mechanic, because I'd go down there and show you a little bit more detail on that. So that's the 2 key. Oh, accidentally opened up the 1 key again. There we go. Alright, so the 3 key is going to be your back tail. Actually, no, we got to do the 4 key first. 4 key is going to drop the tailgate. 3 key is going to lift this thing. It seems like it's stuck. It's just one of those Scrap Mechanic things. Let me put down a block. There we go. I think it just popped open. There we go. So anyways, we have a awesome stereo system back here. Now it doesn't actually play, just kind of there for looks. Let's hit that 3 key again, see if we can get it to go down. That way I can show you guys how it works. You've got 2 pistons back there. It kind of scoots down and it'll lower itself down and seal it off. So you got that, like that bed cover in there. And also the tailgate works here. So there you go. So yeah, you can go up. This is kind of where I, kind of changed it from the, I would say I changed it from the Hot Wheels. I mean, maybe it does have a 6 sound system in there, and we're just not aware of it. So yeah, you've got that. That's one of the cool little features that it's got here going for it. So let's go ahead and close all of that. Now, it does have the other Hot Wheels features, as far as your extra thrusters on the bottom to help tip it if you get some air. They need maybe a little bit more power. I'm not 100% sure. And then you've also got your horn and your back thrusters here to make yourself go forward a little bit faster. So, let me go ahead and give this thing a little spin here. Kind of show you guys how it works. It does handle good, but it's because there's a lot of weight down low. It might tip a little bit on you if you get going too fast and try to too sharp of a turn. But overall, it's kind of just it turned from a Hot Wheels to just I would say like a tricked out vehicle. I mean, it's a really, really, when I say loud color, I mean, I wouldn't definitely paint my vehicle like this, but it's just got a very bright color. It's just loud, in your face, got a big system in the back, so this might just be a custom vehicle. Maybe it's just a custom truck that you can drive around. Now, one word of warning, this thing does get a little bit laggy, and I think it might be the tailgate cover bouncing up and down, even though it's connected to pistons. It seems like when you get jumping and moving around a lot, it does seem to kind of go up and down, so that might be creating a bit of lag here, but I'm not 100% sure. So yeah, this thing's pretty cool. Handles nice. It's got all the underglow there. It's got a nice reflection off the ground. You can see the exhaust poking out the side, so I guess we're going to try it once. We're going to try to go down the mega ramp once, because if I don't do it, somebody's going to say something like, hey, Camodo, you didn't go down the mega ramp, and I'm going to feel bad. So let's go ahead and go down this mega ramp real quick. Okay, well, we're going to try this. I don't think this is going to work. I really do think it's going to bottom out at the end, but wait, this is working. This is work. You know what? I'm going to give it credit. It only bottomed out there at the very end. I think the front bumper might have caught. That did better than expected. You know, if I might jack up that front suspension a bit more, if I can get it to set about a block higher, I might avoid bottoming out. What I really need to do is I need to clone the ramp and stick one right beside it and maybe make the angle of the launch ramp a little more shallow. And maybe that would make it to where some of these bigger, bulkier vehicles could actually launch like the lighter vehicles. So, that's off duty. I am really proud of this one. This one's also available on the workshop to download. I did a real good job with my last build, the Sweet Tooth, about listing everything that you need. So, as soon as you get on the workshop, you'll see a list of the mods that you need to run this. So, there are the vehicles. Now, I've got one more thing I want to talk about here, Hot Wheels wise. A lot of people have some pretty neat suggestions. I've heard stuff from like Mega, or not Mega Ramp, Ultra Ramp, which I don't know what that means. I guess Mega, you've got Mega here, maybe Ultra sets up there or something. And I've heard a lot of people talk about a launcher. If you know a lot of the, well, it wasn't really around too much when I was playing with Hot Wheels, but now there's these little motorized launchers that have these two spinning wheels on each side that you drive or you roll your Hot Wheels through and it launches it. And I think that would be amazing in Scrap Mechanic, but we've got to think realistically here about how possible that is in Scrap Mechanic. I've got a theory, and let's just go ahead. I was playing with a couple prototypes. This is not ready, by the way. I have a couple theories about how you could possibly make this work. So, let's go ahead. We can do it off of, I guess, a small tire. We're going to do a little bit of building here for just a second and kind of show you guys what I'm thinking of. Also, if you guys have any suggestions for other Hot Wheels you'd like to see built, or any other stunt equipment that you would like to see built. I know we only had 2 vehicles here today, but I was kind of on limited time. But yeah, let's grab these wheels here, and this would either be done with thrusters or maybe a motor. So what I was thinking, of course, you could have your platform that you would drive through. So say the platform's this wide. We're probably not going to send a vehicle through this. We'd probably set up 2 spinning wheels, and what I would probably do is maybe have the spinning wheels on, say, a pole. This is a really rough thing right here, so I'm just showing you guys an example. Let's have the other one, let's say right here. And what I'm thinking of doing, you'll have 2 spinning motors. So we'll have one here, one here. Let's put it out, let's see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll have those. You'll have your bearings on the bottom, and you would have some sort of wheel on there. It doesn't have to be this size. This is just a rough example. These would be spinning at a high rate of speed. And, you know, I thought about putting maybe a suspension piece on those to maybe make it rebound a little bit once the vehicle goes through. I'm not sure. But what I was thinking is that you would have your spinning thruster, or your spinning engine right here. See, and that, I don't know if that's enough, and that's actually gonna make those just spin. Let's go ahead and lock these down. Let's see, let's go lock those here. Stop spinning! And we'll lock one here. So yeah, let's start these off at, let's go at a 45-degree angle real quick, and let's adjust them out that way. So yeah, what I was thinking is that you would drive your vehicle through, and you can have some sort of sensor maybe setting right in this area. So when it detects that vehicle rolling forward, it would push these 2 spinning motors back. Now, I don't know if these are spinning enough. Actually, these would probably be going, I think, that way, and yeah, that way. I don't know if these would be spinning fast enough to actually propel the vehicle forward any. I kind of feel like Scrap Mechanic's just going to get confused when I do that. Let's go ahead for example. Let's go with the twin mill. Let's just send one of these through real quick. But like I said, this might be something that I can work on. I would like to hear your guys' suggestions on this, because it's just something I was thinking of, and I was like, you know, you debate on it, you wonder, will this actually work? But, so yeah, you would drive through, say, here, and see, that's where we're running into issues. It's a little stiff on me, so that would actually have to open up just a bit more. But yeah, if you can line up, kind of like people make launchers that shoot out wood, if you can line up maybe 6 of these on each side, you might get some sort of launch. I don't know. It seemed like this one might be a little too tall. We'd probably have to have a wheel under it too. Maybe I can do that real quick. But yeah, that's just a little theory. I don't know if Scrap Mechanics physics are actually going to allow that, because we all know how wonky they can be at times. But it might be something to look into. Let's go ahead and speed these up one more time. There we go. And let's reset this back just a little bit and run through one last time. So yeah, next time we do an episode like this, which I don't know when the next one's going to be, we might have a little launcher prototype. I think I am going to move on to a couple of my older builds here very soon. Maybe the monster truck build. This thing's not wide enough. It's actually it is pushing me. It's pushing me back. So, I mean, it is somewhat working. Let's broaden this a little bit more. Let's go to 30. Actually, can we go 30 the other? Oh no, not 30. Let's go 75 here. There we go. Alright, here we go. One more try. See if we've skinnied it up just a little bit. There we go. Yep, it's gonna it's just gonna pop it around. Yeah, that's gonna be a challenge to do. We'll have to see what we're gonna do about that. I mean, it's in theory, it's kind of cool thinking that might work, but in practice in Scrap Mechanic, this might be an impossible feat. That's why I haven't done it yet, because I know some people asked about, maybe doing some sort of launcher, and that's what I was thinking of doing for it. And I'm just not sure it's going to work. So that's something that I'm going to look at after we do a couple more builds in some different worlds. Like I said, Monster Jam should be coming back. I'm going to try to bring back some more town episodes. We will be doing some more vehicle builds, so if you have any suggestions for those, comment below. If you have any more suggestions for Hot Wheels, also comment below. I'd love to hear your suggestions. But anyways, folks, thanks for all the love and support recently. It's been amazing. I hope you enjoyed this episode here. I strongly encourage you to go join my Steam group. You'll get the latest news and the latest workshop items. So that's down in the description. And we will see you guys next time on Scrap Mechanic. Thank you.